Ladies and gentlemen, there are moments in life when we need to step back, reflect, and be mindful of the dynamics of our relationships. Today, I'll speak about something vital, like 5 things women should never do with a man. These are not rules, but rather gentle observations that can help preserve dignity, love, and mutual respect. Relationships are beautiful, unpredictable, and at times complex. When two people connect, it's like watching poetry in motion, words unsaid, emotions conveyed. But for this poetry to flow, there are boundaries to honor, actions to be avoided, and self-respect to uphold. It's about holding your ground while walking alongside someone you care about. Let's take a thoughtful walk through this topic as I share with you 5 keynotes. In every relationship, it's easy to get swept up in the joy of loving and being loved. And at first, everything feels new and overwhelming. It's as though the world outside fades, leaving only the two of you. But what happens when you begin to lose sight of yourself? Losing yourself means letting go your passions, your goals, and your identity just to fit into the mold of someone else's life. It's a subtle thing, often unnoticed until it's too late. You once loved painting, or writing, or running marathons. But over time, you abandon those passions because you prioritize someone else's preferences. You stop creating. Stop exploring the parts of you that existed long before that man walked into your life. Relationships are meant to complement who you are, not consume who you are. The truth is, healthy man doesn't want you to give up yourself. In fact, the very reason he fell for you might be your independence, your zest for life, your quirks. Losing those parts doesn't strengthen the bond. It slowly weakens it. You begin to fade into the background of your own life, and eventually that silence, the absence of your voice, your essence, will echo. You see, being in love is not about shrinking yourself to fit in someone's idea of perfection. It's not about becoming smaller so they can feel larger. It's about growth. It's about sharing lives, not stealing identities. Never sacrifice the dreams you've carefully nurtured over the years. Never clip your own wings so someone else can fly. And what's more dangerous is when losing yourself becomes a habit, a pattern you don't even recognize. You start living for him, bending to every request, forgetting that your life holds meaning beyond his validation. And when the relationship falters or ends, you're left with nothing, no sense of self, no compass to guide you back. Your life is value that exists beyond any relationship. You are not incomplete without a man. You are a whole, dynamic, extraordinary human being capable of greatness. Your partner should amplify who you are, not erase you. So when you stay true to yourself, you show the world your light, and you inspire others to do the same. You tell the man you're with, I love you, but I also love me. That balance, that self-respect is the foundation of any strong relationship. So whatever you do, never lose yourself. Because in the end, the best relationships are those where 2 whole people come together, not to complete each other, but to celebrate who they already are. There's a fine line between compromise and sacrifice, one that must be respected in any relationship. Compromise is healthy, it builds bridges, but sacrificing your values, your boundaries, or your comfort for the sake of someone else's approval is a dangerous road. Boundaries are not walls, they're gates. They protect what matters most, your self-respect, your peace, and your emotional well-being. A man who truly respects you will also respect your boundaries. If he doesn't, that's not love. Love doesn't require you to abandon yourself for someone else. Too often, women find themselves saying yes when they mean no, whether it's out of fear, love, or the desire to keep the peace. They let their boundaries be crossed. It starts small, maybe agreeing to something that feels uncomfortable. So over time, those small moments turn into bigger sacrifices. You've communicated your values clearly. You shared what you will and will not accept in your life. But he tests those boundaries inch by inch. You let it slide once, then twice, until suddenly you're in a place you never imagined yourself to be. Those invisible lines you once drew are gone, and you don't recognize yourself anymore. Boundaries are not selfish, they are self-preservation. You deserve to feel safe, respected, and heard in any relationship. A healthy man doesn't push against your boundaries. He admires them. He sees them as a reflection of your strength, your worth, your ability to know what's right for you. Let's be clear, it doesn't mean creating conflict. It means communicating your limits with clarity and confidence. It means saying, this is what I need to feel valued, and I will not accept less. It's a woman who knows her boundaries, knows her worth. Never apologize for enforcing them. Never feel guilty for prioritizing your own well-being. When you allow your boundaries to be trampled, it sends a message that you will settle for less than you deserve. In the moment you settle, you lose the power to define your own life. Ladies and gentlemen, a strong woman understands that love does not demand her to abandon herself. A man who loves you will honor your boundaries, not question them, never compromise on what matters most to you, your values, your peace, and your self-respect. Relationship, no matter how wonderful, should never be the sole purpose of your life. It's easy to fall into the trap of orbiting around a man, making him the sun while you become a distant planet. The danger lies in losing balance, forgetting that your life holds other priorities. Love is a beautiful part of life, but it's it's hard to I think just said ever be the whole. When you make a man the center of your universe, you risk losing sight of everything else, your career, your friendships, your personal growth. These things that once filled you with joy begin to pale in comparison to him. You paint you a picture. You cancel plans with friends to be available for him. You skip opportunities to explore new hobbies because you're afraid of being apart. You revolve your time, energy, and choices around his needs and his desires. In doing so, you unknowingly make him the source of your happiness. And that's a heavy burden for anyone to carry. You see, the healthiest relationships thrive when both people have full, meaningful lives outside of each other. A man is not a life raft. He's not meant to rescue you from the waves. And when you place him at the center of everything, you lose your sense of independence. A woman with a full life is magnetic. She is unstoppable. She inspires others because she understands that love is a beautiful addition, not a requirement for happiness. A healthy man admires a woman who has her own world, her own passions, her own friendships, her own adventures. You owe it to yourself to maintain your balance, invest in your career, pursue your passions, spend time with the people who love you. Never let a man define your identity or limit your growth. A partner is there to walk beside you, not to overshadow you. If you prioritize yourself, something powerful happens. You become stronger, happier, and more fulfilled. And a fulfilled woman doesn't just bring love to a relationship. She brings joy, inspiration, and depth. Ladies and gentlemen, love deeply but live fully. Never make anyone the center of your universe, because your universe is vast, beautiful, and worthy of exploration. The heart has a strange way of silencing the mind. When we care about someone, we sometimes overlook the signs. There's subtle warnings that something isn't quite right. But ignoring red flags in a relationship is like driving with a flat tire. Eventually, it catches up to you. Red flags come in many forms. It could be a lack of respect for your time, your boundaries, or your feelings. It could be dishonesty, manipulation, or emotional neglect. Often these signs appear early, but we convince ourselves that they're minor or temporary. You notice his temper flares at small inconveniences, or he dismisses your concerns when you try to communicate. Maybe he doesn't value your opinions or tries to control your choices. These are not small issues. The danger lies in rationalizing these behaviors. You tell yourself he'll change, or it's not that bad. But red flags don't disappear with time. They grow. The longer you ignore them, the more power they hold over your life. Being a woman who respects herself, listens to her intuition. She doesn't silence that inner voice telling her something is wrong. Ignoring red flags doesn't make you kind, patient, or forgiving. It makes you vulnerable to heartbreak. Ladies and gentlemen, love should not feel heavy. It should not require you to abandon your standards or accept less than you deserve. Disrespect in any form is the quiet thief that strips away the essence of love. It starts small, almost imperceptibly, like a drop of water hitting stone. Over time, those drops erode the foundation of a relationship and the foundation of who you are. Ladies and gentlemen, there is no excuse for disrespect, whether subtle or overt. You see, disrespect doesn't always announce itself loudly. It can hide in sarcasm, belittling jokes, or dismissive comments. It can appear when a man interrupts you, ignores your voice, or minimizes your achievements. Perhaps it manifests in public when he embarrasses you in front of others, or privately when he invalidates your feelings with a wave of his hand. These are not harmless actions. They are red flags, and they demand your attention. The problem arises when disrespect becomes normalized. At first, you might shrug it off, telling yourself he didn't mean it, or it's just how he is. You might convince yourself it's not a big deal. But over time, the small cracks become gaping holes. The more you allow disrespect to continue, the more it grows. And when you tolerate it, you unintentionally teach him that it's acceptable to treat you that way. Back is a reflection of a deeper issue, lack of value for who you are as a person. A man who truly loves you will never undermine your worth, whether in his words or his actions. He will protect your dignity, honor your voice, and hold you in high regard, not because you demand it, but because he understands that respect is the cornerstone of any relationship. The dangerous thing about tolerating disrespect is that it slowly erodes your self-esteem. You begin to question yourself. I too sensitive? I overreacting? But ladies, you are not too sensitive for expecting respect. You are not overreacting for demanding decency. You are simply holding someone accountable to the standard of basic human dignity, and that is not too much to ask. A relationship should be a safe space where your feelings are acknowledged and your voice is heard. Love without respect is not love at all. It is control, it is manipulation, and it is toxic. If a man cannot respect you, he cannot truly love you. Respect is not earned through silence or submission. It is earned through the courage to set boundaries and enforce them. Understand this white man treats you as a reflection of how he sees himself. A secure, confident, and healthy man does not feel the need to belittle, control, or disrespect the woman he loves. He lifts her up, celebrates her successes, and treats her as an equal partner. Anything less is unworthy of your time and energy. Ladies and gentlemen, never tolerate disrespect. Walk away from anyone who makes you feel small, unheard, or invisible. You are not here to be someone's afterthought, someone's punchline, or someone's doormat. You are here to shine, to love, and to be loved in a way that reflects your worth. You know this, when you demand respect, you invite love that is pure, honest, and deserving. Ladies and gentlemen, love is not game of sacrifice. Submission or self-erasure, it is not about shrinking yourself or settling for less than you deserve. Strongest relationships are built on trust, respect, and balance, where two individuals come together as equals, holding space for each other's growth while honoring their own identities. What I've shared with you today, these 5 things women should never do like man, are not just reminders. They are reflections of your worth, your dignity, and your power. Never lose yourself in the relationship. Never compromise your boundaries. Never make him the center of your universe. Never ignore red flags, and never tolerate disrespect. These are not restrictions. They are declarations of self-respect. The truth is, a woman who honors herself sets the tone for how others will treat her. She moves with grace, strength, and confidence. She doesn't beg for love. She attracts it. She doesn't settle for crumbs. She expects the full feast. And when the wrong man steps into her life, she has the wisdom to walk away and the courage to wait for what she truly deserves. Relationships are meant to elevate you, not diminish you. They are meant to inspire you, not control you. Love should feel like freedom, not confinement. It should be a partnership built on mutual admiration, not power struggles. And the right man will see your value, not as something to possess, but as something to honor. Never forget your worth. You are strong, you are capable, and you are enough just as you are. When you honor yourself, you invite a love that reflects the beauty, the power, and the depth of who you truly are. Treat her with the respect, care, and dignity she deserves. Honor her voice, protect her spirit, and celebrate her independence. Because a woman who loves herself doesn't need you. She chooses you. And that choice is the greatest gift of all. Ladies and gentlemen, love wisely, love deeply, and above all, love yourself first. Thank you.